What is up, humans of the cardboard? Welcome back to Just Nuts, guys. We got some crazy shenanigans. And by crazy shenanigans, I don't know fully how much crazy shenanigans we have, but I read the first card. It is a Reptile support card, and it's really actually quite solid. So we will see where we go with that, but still a really nice start there. Let's get into it. I haven't read anything else. I just read the first card. I was like, because we saw premium pack support before, and I was like, okay. And I read it, and I was like, oh, these cards were not great. So I wanted to read the first card, and the first one's good. First card here is Black Mamba. This is a level 3 dark reptile effect monster. 13 attack, 1000 defense. You can only special summon in with this first effect once per turn, and the second effect is also a hard once per turn. The first effect reads, if you control a reptile monster, you can special summon this card from the hand. Let's go! Second effect, if this card is normal or special summoned, you can target one monster your opponent controls as cost. Send one reptile monster from your deck to the graveyard, and if you do, change the targeted monster's battle position. Okay, I mean, yeah, this is solid, right? It's a free body that jumps out of the hand, and it gives you a potential send from deck. I mean, look at all this reptile support. We want to Foolish Burial reptile cards, so this card actually seems really good. I think the only thing I could ever even make a complaint about with this card is it's level 3. If it was level 4, it would be perfect, but it's still really nice. It helps us get into link plays while also potentially getting us sends. I like this card a lot. I think this card's really solid, actually. All right, next up here we have Uru Bonus. Uru Bonus, the Avatar of Malice. I've not read this card at all. This is a level 5 dark reptile. Okay, 2000 attack, 800 defense. You can only use the first and third effect of this card's name once per turn. The first effect reads, you can tribute one reptile as cost to special summon this card from the hand. Okay. The one thing well, okay, let's get to the rest. All monster your opponent controls lose 300. All right, whatever. And you contribute one monster generically, then make all monsters your opponent control currently lose attack and defense equal to the tributed monster's original attack and defense until the end of the turn. Okay, so a stat modifier, not a bad extender, just not great. It's level 5. Again, if this was level 4, it would be much nicer because it helps us get to those rank 4 plays, which the reptile deck really wants to do. By the way, my skin is so dry because we're getting into winter, and so I'm getting kind of itchy. It's not like a if I'm like scratching myself, it's just because my skin gets dried or whatever, personal information. Anyway, this card's fine. I don't think it'll probably be good enough to be played, but it's not a bad card. If this said tribute any monster, then this would be crazy in like Lair of Darkness builds with the Ogdoadic stuff. But unfortunately, it has to tribute a reptile to summon itself. You could still tribute an opponent's monster with the third effect, but I don't know if that's really good enough. You know, who knows? All right, and the last card we have here is actually a level 4. It's called Lamia. This is a level 4 dark reptile, 13, 15 for the stats. First and second effects are hard once per turn. The first one reads, if this card is normal or special summoned, you can add a level 8 reptile monster from your deck to the hand. Yo, that's actually clean. Well, okay. Ogdoadics do have level 8 reptiles, but usually you want them in grave, not in hand. So the question is going to be, is it still worth for the +1? But I think maybe just because we have Snake Rain, which discards for cost, that means even if we do get ashed on Snake Rain, we do still get to put one of those level 8s in grave. And 2, we also have like potentially Reptilian Ramifications, which is also a card that discards, sends a card from hand as to do its effect. So again, gives us an extra free card. It's a +1, okay? That's what matters. There also might be some other level 8 reptiles. We'll have to take a look at that. Very cool. Also, if this card becomes banished, you can target a reptile monster you control. It cannot be destroyed by card effects until the end of the next turn. Whatever. It's a +1. Interesting card, very interesting. It's also level 4. Do not forget that it's level 4. Do not sleep on the fact that it's level 4 because this might be low-key the best normal summon in reptile decks now, but just because of the synergy. Very cool. And the last card here is we do have another trap card that is also reptile based, it looks like. It looks like the name is Viper's Grudge, or the literal translation was Venomous Snake's Grudge. Continuous trap card. You can only use the second and third effects once per turn. 3 effects. Okay. First effect, non-reptile monsters you control cannot attack or activate their effects. Okay, so that's a restriction on you. Kind of keeps you locked into reptiles. Interesting. Second, let's see if it's still worth. Second effect, if a face-up reptile monster you control is destroyed by battle or sent to the graveyard, or sent to the graveyard, period, you can special summon 1 level 4 or lower reptile monster straight from the deck. Wow. Very, very interesting. You just need to get any reptile sent to the graveyard. That didn't say send from field. That doesn't say, just says sent. That's crazy. And then you get to pull a level 4 reptile straight out of the deck. That could summon something like Lamia. That could summon something like this guy, and you could change a battle position and get an extra send. Or that could do something like Nunu. No, not Nunu. I think is it Nalia? Which one's the one that searches? An Ogdoadic spell or trap. That could also be nice for follow-up, especially when the new spell comes out in Battle of Chaos. Very cool. And the third effect of this card in the spell and trap zone is destroyed. You can return all of your banished reptile monsters to the graveyard. Okay, it's more of a floaty card. It might be a little bit too slow. I was hoping we'd see some interruption aspects here, but not quite. I do like that second effect, but it just might be a little too slow to really make it quite worth. We'll have to see on that, but not a bad card. I think it's pretty good. I like Lamia. I like Black Mamba a lot. I think this guy maybe misses the mark, but and the trap maybe it's probably just a little too slow, but still cool stuff. I'm happy we got some playable stuff. Next up, we got zombie cards, okay? Next up, we have Ghost Lancer, the Underworld Spearman. It's a level 5 dark zombie, okay? So it seems like could be more tied to vampires. We'll see. It's level 5, 2000 for the stats. If only your opponent controls a monster, you can special summon this card from the hand. We got ourselves a Cyber Dragon. Second effect, cannot be destroyed by battle except with a monster summoned from the extra deck. Interesting. Only extra deck monsters can destroy this. So Flunderees might have an annoying time clearing this card without going into something like Ryza. And the third effect, if this card attacks a defense position monster, inflict piercing. Okay, so I guess if there were like a going second zombie build, this guy's pretty cool. He's a red layer, he's a Cyber Dragon, however we're going to call him, just jumps on the board for free. Not bad. Next up here, we have Ghost Sleeper, the Underworld Sleeping Beauty, a level 3 zombie monster, 13-0 for the stats, 2 hard ones return effects. If this card is sent to the graveyard generically, just sent, period. You could Foolish Burial this. Add a Ghost Fusion from deck to hand. We definitely have to read Ghost Fusion now. Are we gonna have another busted fusion card in the game? During your main phase, except the turn this card was sent to the graveyard, you can banish this card from your graveyard and discard 1 card. Then target one of your banished level 4 or higher zombie monsters and add it to your hand. Okay, so some kind of recycling here. That's not bad. I'm sure the deck has ways to banish zombies. I think a good zombie fusion card would probably banish from grave. I think that would be pretty good. Nice. Not bad though. I like this. I like that it ends up in grave whatsoever. I would have liked it if it also had an effect that summoned itself from the hand, because it seems like you probably need her plus another extender just to link her off to get her to trigger her effect to search, but we'll see. There might be other ways here. Next up here we have Ghost Wyvern, the Underworld Dragon. He looks badass. I love his design. Is a level 4 dark zombie, 1700 attack, 0 defense, and 2 hard ones per turn. Effects. If this card is normal or special summon, you can add a Ghost Fusion from deck to hand. Okay, wow, we really got easy access to this card. This could really, depending on how good this fusion is, this could potentially revolutionize how certain zombie decks for sure. During the end phase, if this card was banished this turn, you can take 1 level 2 or lower zombie tuner from your deck and either add it to your hand or send it to the graveyard. Whoa, that's pretty cool also. Holy nugs, that's really cool. Because that could either search or send something like Glow Up Bloom, Plague Spreader. I know Plague Spreader wouldn't give you value until the next turn, but Bloom is crazy here, because if you already have Zombie World on the field, this just gets you a way to just send Bloom on your end phase, turn 1 going first, and then just get Ballard Rock. Wow, that's crazy. This card seems really good. This card's potentially a +2. All right, moment of truth though. We definitely need to see how good Ghost Fusion is. You can activate 1 card with this card's name per turn. Fusion summon 1 fusion monster from your extra deck, using monsters you control as fusion material. Okay? Only zombie monsters can be used as fusion material for this effect. If your life points are lower than your opponent's, you can also banish one zombie monster from your hand, deck, or graveyard as material. Very interesting. Okay, so it fuses from field. Not the best. Do we even have a fusion card here? We don't see a zombie fusion here yet. That's the other thing too, is like we may need a legit payoff card that's like worth it enough to make it worth. But okay. I would say it's okay. Like it is doable to get a free banish from grave or hand or deck, which is really good. It just has the stipulation your life points have to be lower than your opponent's, but I don't think any of these effects paid life points as cost. I was going to say, as long as your engine that searches this, maybe just like by virtue of what it does, pays life points. I mean, if you're playing an Eldritch variant, you activate Cursed Eldland, pay 800, boom, right? Okay, so there are some potentials there, but it's not 100% live all the time. So I think this might not be consistent enough. We will have to see, though. I still think these cards have potential. We just have to see there. Okay, next up we have more spells. These are actually more Barian cards, right? Like for Nash's deck in the anime. Anyway, this is Numbers Avail. So it has numbers in the name, so that actually is searchable by, I believe, the new Astraltopia card. Normal spell card. If only your opponent controls a monster special summon from the extra deck, choose 4 number exceed monsters with different ranks in your extra deck. Add the numbers in all their names together and special summon 1 number exceed monster from your extra deck with a number in its name equal to the result. And if you do, attach all the chosen monsters to it as material, but you cannot special summon monsters while you control it except number exceed monsters. This is treated as an exceed summon. Wow, this card is kind of crazy. This card kind of reminds me of Small World, where you have to build your deck around it just to make it work. But I guess theoretically you could be able to just like plop something nasty on the field, but it's only particularly going second. Your opponent could easily negate this. I think it's fine. I think it's a cheeky card. It's fun. It's very anime, but I don't think it'll see competitive play. Next up, we have a Reincarnation of the 7 Emperors, another 7 Emperor card. Nice. This will be searchable as well, I believe, with the new Shark card that searches like any 7 Emperor card, any rank up, and other stuff as well. Normal trap card. If your exceed monster that is a number monster with a number between 101 and 107 in its name, or has such a monster as material battles, during damage calculation, banish it and any material attached to it. Also, during the end phase of the turn you activate this card, special summon 1 rank 3 or lower exceed monster from your extra deck except a number monster, and if you do, inflict damage to your opponent equal to its original attack. This card seems horrible. It takes the battle phase. You lose your number monster 101 through 107, and you don't get another monster until the end phase, and it's a rank 3, and it doesn't even attach material to it. So you get a no material rank 3 or lower monster. This card seems super bleh. Next up, Rebirth of the 7 Emperors. Again, pretty searchable. Tribute all exceed monsters. I mean, on the field, so even in a certain matchup, you could tribute your opponent's stuff. Then target one of your banished exceed monsters. Special summon it, then you can attach number exceed monsters with numbers between 101 and 107 in their names that are banished and or in your grave, up to the number of monsters tributed plus 1 to it as material. During the end phase of the turn you activate this card, each player takes 300 damage for each card in their hand. Again, more of a cheeky card, definitely an anime card. I don't think it has too much crazy potential there. And the last card we have here is XYZ Bento. It's like a little bento box with XYZs. Cool. Normal trap card. If a monster or monsters your opponent controls is destroyed by battle or sent to the graveyard. Okay, so or sent to the graveyard, period. Target an exceed monster you control and attach 1 monster from your opponent's graveyard to it as material. Okay. Steal something from your opponent's grave and also gets you another material. Not horrible. You can banish this card from your graveyard to target 1 monster special summon from the extra deck and change its battle position. Not great. If that said like Book of Moon it, and that way like after this card end up in grave, it would be a Book of Moon. So it could be Graveyard Disruption, then a Book of Moon, or a pop, or a negate, or whatever. Then we'd be looking at something interesting, but I think this card is just a little bit too underwhelming. Doesn't do anything too impactful, and it's slow because it's a trap. And the one thing we know nowadays in modern day Yu-Gi-Oh! Is if you are going to be purple, you better be impactful. because you need to make up for the fact that you're slow with power, and this card does not do that really for me. So all in all, pretty cool. I think the zombie stuff is really interesting. I think the fusion is one step away from being crazy, but to be honest, if in the next couple weeks we got like a zombie fusion monster that just took like 2 zombies and it was like actually really strong, maybe we come back and we look at this stuff, we say, you know what, we can play enough stuff that makes us pay life points turn 1 to make this card work and go to town. But we will see. I still think the engine seems like pretty cool. Like this guy seems really solid. She seems pretty good as well, getting you a free +1 if she's just sent to the graveyard really easily. Same thing with him, just normal summon, search, fusion, and then on the end phase you can just like send glow up bloom. That could still be worth, like, actually, just to get access to Glow Bloom like for free. And then the snake stuff, pretty cool. I'm actually happy about this. I keep talking about it. Konami just keeps throwing reptile support out there, and this stuff is no joke. I think Lamia potentially could be the best normal summon for a pure reptile build, and I think this guy's actually a really solid extender in the deck as well. So really cool stuff. Cannot wait to see what else we get. I'm very happy that we got more cards for this premium pack in the OCG, and some of them actually have potential in decks, whereas they're not just like straight anime cards. Very happy about that. But I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below. Please let me know in the comment section your thoughts on the new cards here, and maybe if there's other applications that I didn't mention here today that you might be thinking about. So let me know down below. Subscribe if you have not yet and you want to stay up to date on all Yu-Gi-Oh card reveals, because I love doing these review videos. They're really fun. And I will see you in the next one. Peace.